Welcome to the Childersburg Chamber Voice. We're glad to be back with you again, and we have some very special guests with us this week. But first of all, let's get to our sponsor. Our sponsor this week is Bates Enterprises. They are located out on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's right there by Childersburg Elementary. And most of you know Greg and Carla Bates, and they own that business, do a fantastic job with their business. They do a laundry type business and a lot of their business is with the automotive industry, and Carla and Greg have really grown their business. They're one of the top employers in our area, and we certainly appreciate their commitment to our chamber and the partnership that we have with them and they have with us. And Carla does a great job of making sure that they try to hire local people and our local families to be able to put back into our communities also. And we certainly appreciate their partnership. Carla has been with us since we reorganized and been consistent, and we certainly appreciate their sponsorship. Allows us to do a lot of things that we get to do. So Greg and Carla Bates, owners of Bates Enterprises, we certainly appreciate the partnership and sponsor this show today. I have my guests today are Coach Shodrick Smith and Jasmine Richardson from Winterboro High School. Coach Smith is the basketball coach for the boys and girls and the volleyball coach. And Jasmine is a junior at Winterboro High School, and she has done some things that has never been done at Winterboro High School. So we were glad to bring her on with Coach Smith and find out what's going on at Winterboro. We just had the new football coach, Coach Beckett, on our show last time, and a lot of great things are happening at Winterboro High School, Coach Smith.
Yes, it is.
We certainly, y'all doing a lot. Y'all were actually the leaders in the technology part as far as the academics in our county school system. But,
yes, sir.
Let's talk to Jasmine just a little bit. And Jasmine, I know that you've got some things that you've done, and you've got something coming up this summer that you're going to be participating in that's never been done. But let's talk a little bit about you. You said you have been at Winterboro your whole life. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you're currently a junior.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell us a little bit about your basketball season this past year. I know y'all had a great year, and you've been selected to do something this summer that nobody else has ever done. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this year we came out with a 29-4 record, and I think we did good in practice. We hustled hard. Our coach pushed us to do good, and through the games, we learned to have more communication and just get to know each other on the floor and all the plays and stuff. And I had got invited to the North-South Basketball All-Star Game, July the 17th. And I think that's a big accomplishment because my coach pushed me to do better and better every practice. And when we're not at practice, teach me to, work hard at what I do. And to have this accomplishment means a lot because I'm the first to ever,
Be invited to play at the All-Star
Yes, sir.
game. Now, where's that going to be played at?
Alabama.
Alabama State.
Alabama State in Montgomery?
Doing the Coaches All-Star Week.
Okay, that's right. They do a lot of those during that coaches
Yes,
week.
sir.
I knew that and didn't think about that. What position do you play, Jasmine?
Shooting guard, some point guard, some.
So you're handling the ball most of the time, is that right? Or I don't know a whole lot about basketball, so y'all got to help me out. Shooting guard, is that handling the ball?
That in a number system, that'll be 2, but she plays the 3 for us as well. We're very fortunate to have a system where my 1 through 4, and my 4 is my power forward. She plays the 4 at times, and my other 4 guard, she's able to come out to the point. So we have a lot of options. So wherever I need Jasmine, according to the game plan, that's where we use her at. But she plays the 3, and that's the wing player.
No wonder y'all were 29-4, huh? If you got all those options available.
And we have some options. Yes.
So how long have you been playing basketball, Jasmine?
For the school, I've been playing since 7th grade, and I've been playing since I was probably in elementary school with the Rick League in Childersburg.
Okay.
So that gave me a lot of, because I played with some of my opponents like Shakayla Thomas. I used to play against her, against Rick League, and yes, sir.
I bet that was fun playing with her. Did you realize back then how good she was going to be?
Yes, sir.
She was good back then too.
Yes, sir.
But it sounds like you're pretty good in your own right too. So, what's your favorite part about playing basketball? Is it the practice, or do you like practicing, or you just like the games? You like both of it?
Most times I be liking practice, but then I be ready for the games. But I know practice make perfect, and
That's
we
right.
have to practice our plays and stuff for the game. And when we practice like it's a game, then we'll go out and hustle.
Okay. How many seniors did y'all have on this year's team? How many seniors?
We only had one senior that was our starting point guard.
Wow. So we'll be looking for y'all to do even bigger and better things next year then, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other plans for this summer besides playing in this all-star game? And I want to say congratulations. That is a huge honor, especially to be the first one ever selected from one of our high schools. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
Do you have any other plans? You playing any travel ball, basketball?
I play travel basketball with the Southern Stars. June, I'll be with my high school team. In July, the first week in July, we'll travel to Orlando, Florida, and then the last week in July, we'll go to New Orleans.
Wow. So it sounds like you got your summer pretty well planned out.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about school real quick, because I'm a high school official. I referee football and umpire baseball, but I do little boys baseball too, and I talk to kids all the time about their grades, and that's so much more important than shooting threes or rebounding. So what's your academic life like? You're a good student, and you understand the importance of making good grades?
Yes, sir. I make A's and B's. I got a GPA over 3.4, but I feel it can get better since I'm a athlete with that's striving to do her academics also. And
Hey, that is so important. And I want to ask you, we talked a little bit about Winterboro being the leader in our county school system with the technology that is here in a lot of schools now, but has that really improved, do you think, your academic progress, and has that been a good thing for you?
I think with the computers, we learn more, we get to research more instead of always writing down books and stuff.
Right.
So instead of doing work on books, we can do it on the computer, and we have more time to search and stuff for answers.
Well, I've been to y'all school several times, especially when y'all first started this, but I try to go there every time I have the opportunity, and I see something different every time. I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing I've seen is how you guys, students, because I've been in schools when you walk down the halls and students want to speak to you.
Right.
And I've been really impressed with Winterboro about, every student I've ever passed in the hallway, hey sir, how are you doing today?
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. So I can see a big difference in that. So y'all were area champs, and you had the school win records, and we'll talk a little bit more about that with you, Coach Smith. But what did that mean to you for having the most wins ever at Winterboro?
That means a lot because when Coach Smith first got here, it's like we had no basketball program, and on through the years we got better. We had more options for girls to come out and try out, and throughout the year, all of us was all getting better. And to be area champs 3 straight years means a lot because that have never happened. And now he got a group of girls that want to work and love basketball, and now we can do what we wanted to do and still break records.
And you didn't pay him any kind of money, or he didn't pay you any kind of money if you decided that about him, did you?
No, sir.
Well, that sounds like he has really come in and turned the program around. And like I said, I've coached some Babe Ruth baseball, and I know Coach Smith.
Yes.
Don't matter what you do as a coach, these student athletes are the ones that's got to want it too. So it sounds like that you've got a great group of girls, and that they've bought into what you're selling. And that's got to happen first, I think, as a coach, don't you?
Yes.
Well, talk a little bit about your team real quick with Jasmine meant to you.
Well, I'm going to start from my first year this summer. I started out with 15 girls. I ended with 2
Wow.
my first year. And so I had never seen, at that particular time, I had my 3 best players. I'd never seen them, and Jasmine was one. Tanisha Merritt was the other one, and Demetria Mitchell, but she transferred to Sylacauga. She just finished her senior year at Sylacauga. Those were my 3 best players, and they were 7th and 8th graders,
Wow.
and I didn't see them until October.
Yeah.
So when we first had practice, I would say about a month later, I called my former assistant principal. I said, "Man, I feel on a gold mine down here." And so we won 3 games that first year. They were winless before, and they were 5-6. They were 5-70 within the past 4 years before I got there.
Wow.
So we won 3 games the first year. The next year we won 9. The atmosphere was great. And then the third year we won 18, so we broke the school record. Then the fourth year, when we won 18 games, that was the first year we won the area title against our rival school.
Which is?
Talladega County Central.
TC.
And that's the best rivalry.
I bet that was fun, wasn't it, Jasmine?
Yes, sir.
It was.
Let me ask you this. Let me interrupt you a little bit. Did she start as a 7th grader or 8th grader?
No.
But you saw that talent in her.
Now listen, people look at Jasmine now, they think that she's good, and she's good now, but we watched her film from her 7th grade year probably about a month ago, because she needs to understand where she came from.
Right.
I can remember she wasn't as aggressive as she was, fouled a lot, the dribbling wasn't there, the confidence wasn't there, but she was a baby. You don't expect babies to just start walking.
Right.
You expect them to, go through the process of walking, baby steps, and then get to running. Mm-hmm. So, and I had a couple more players like her as well. So, when you look at where the program has came, no, she didn't start.
What year did you start?
I think I started my 8th grade year.
Well, she started the 7th grade year, but that was halfway through the season, so
Okay.
she earned that spot as a 7th grader.
Oh, I got you.
But just as far as day one,
Right.
but she's the only one that hasn't played a junior high game either.
Wow. That's big, Jasmine.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it really is. You think about it. There's not many, I don't care what level, 1A, 6A, whatever, there's not many student athletes, boys or girls, that get to do that. So,
Right.
Yes, sir.
talk about your teammates a little bit. Let's go back and talk about your team and your teammates. You're only losing that one senior, so
That's right. Half of my teammates, we like family. Like, we are like family. And through the years, we have grown to be close to each other. We have our fights, we have our arguments on the court. We have our dislikes and stuff we don't agree with and disagree with, and we don't never be on the same page. And that can hinder our playing, and it shows in the game. So, like, my teammates, I love them. We work hard in practice this season. This is all we've been talking about. We come to practice to work this year, and we just want to do better things and break more records and just play as a team.
we were talking before we went on air about your teammates and even Coach Smith. Do you like him or love him? And we talked about you got to love him. And like what you just said,
Yes.
you're going to have disagreements, and you may not like some of them. You may not ever like some of them, but you got to love them
Yes,
Right.
sir.
for it to be that team, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes,
How many other juniors are in your class?
It's me, Tiffany Vincent, Ebony Barkley, Chanel Phillips, and Benicia Horn. Tiffany Vincent and Ebony Barkley are our post players, and Chanel Phillips and Benicia Horn, they're like our bench players that come help us like at the end of the buzzer. Like, Benicia Horn is our 3-point shooter, so if it's a time that we need to score and we need a 3, then we depend on her. And Chanel, she's aggressive, but it's still some stuff she had to learn from. And
Do you feel like you're one of the leaders of your team? Do you feel that? Do you know that you are, are a leader? And has it, you being selected to this All-Star game, how's the other teammates reacted to you with that?
I feel as if I'm a leader. A lot of the younger girls come to me, say they look up to me, and they have all congratulated me on my accomplishments in the North-South game and Daily Home Player of the Year, and all my accomplishments, they have been there for me.
Well, that's good, because sometimes when an athlete or student is, pointed out like that or given these awards, sometimes that can cause, friction on a team. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
good that everybody is, behind you. And
Yes, sir.
and You know, I don't know you, but just the few minutes we've been here, to me, I don't see that going to your head that you're going to think that, oh, here I am, Jasmine Richardson, I'm better than everybody. So I commend you on that, and congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, we need to take a break, and when we come back, Coach Smith, I want to get into talking about you and, you know, your where you came from and,
Okay.
you know, your things that you've done at Winterboro, and then where you see your program going, okay? All right, we'll be back in just a minute with Coach Smith and Jasmine Richardson from Winterboro High School.
Wow, that was
Let's talk about Glenn Smith Toyota of Sylacauga.
I'm Tommy Bryant.
Welcome back to the Childsburg Chamber Voice. Again, our show is sponsored by Bates Enterprises, located on Hollywood Boulevard, which is right there by Childersburg Elementary. Greg and Carla Bates own the company and have a great partnership with them. We appreciate what they do for our community. We're here with Coach Smith and Jasmine from Winterboro High School, and we've been talking with Jasmine most of the first half and about what she's doing. And one of the biggest things is she's been selected to play in the North-South All-Star game this summer, and that's the first time ever for a Winterboro High School athlete. That's right.
Yes,
Any
sir.
athlete ever.
well, just on the girls'
On
side.
the
I
girls' side,
haven't
okay.
researched the boys.
Okay, on the girls' side, but that's a big honor, Jasmine, so congratulations and good luck with that.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Smith, let's talk about you and where you've been, what you've been doing, coaching, and things going on in Winterboro. So let's just find out a little bit about you, where you're from, where you went to high school, college, and all that. So
Okay, well, I'm originally from Sylacauga, Alabama. I graduated from Sylacauga High School, attended Alabama A&M University with a Bachelor of Science in winter of 2001. So that's my education.
all right, why did you, I always like to ask this question when I talk to teachers and coaches, especially coaches, what made you want to get into this profession?
Well, being that I'm a former student athlete, I see the value of athletics through a lot of students. Majority of our student athletes today, they come to school just to play sports.
Right,
So if
that's
their
right.
coach can relate to the kids, they can actually give them more options than just sports, because you have to be a very special athlete to even play at the next level. The
Right.
percentages are even lower for your 1A schools, especially for
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that led me to coaching, being a mentor, and I wanted a better high school experience than I had, because my coach, who was a great coach, Obadiah Threadgill, he was way much older than us, and it was a lot of stuff he just can relate to us on.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm growing younger sometimes as far as still being able to relate to the kids. And I think that's a real big quality that I have as of now. So these are the things that led me to coaching.
Well, I appreciate the things you said about that, because to me, even just being a teacher, even if you don't coach, I think you got to have that mentality.
Absolutely.
You know, and especially in the coaching profession. We'll talk a little bit, where have you coached before Winterboro? And you coached, I think, at Sachs, is that right?
Yes.
Was that your
Yeah.
first job out of college?
That was Sachs is a high school. That was my first head job.
Okay.
I started out at Hazel Green High School,
Oh, wow.
freshman boys coach, and then I went to Lee High School, which is in Huntsville, girls basketball. I stayed there for 2 years. I went to Middle Georgia College. I coached men and women's college basketball, assistant coach there. Then I left there and went back to Lee High School, coached girls there. And then I applied for Sachs High School in Anderson, and that was my first head job, and that was girls. That was girls basketball. And then I went to Winterboro High School, so I've been here for 5 years. My first three years were girl basketball. Then I accepted the boys basketball job as well. So I'm currently the girls and boys basketball coach there.
How do you
for the
do
past-
that? That's got to be grueling on you.
It's really not, because you just have to plan. You just have to plan well.
Yeah.
And having an athletic period helps out a whole lot. And then we do some morning practices as well.
Okay.
My boys' basketball team really bought into the morning practice. It gave me some scout time, but planning is really where it's at. So where I'm at now with my girls program, they don't really require a lot of time as my boys do. Also, when football season is going on, girls basketball gets started.
Right.
So now they're not losing time.
Yeah.
And actually boys gain more time during December practices than girls. And then after my junior high season's over with, everything else gets even. So it's just great planning.
And you're coaching volleyball now too, you said.
I'm coaching volleyball. This is my first year.
Yeah.
Jasmine's also my volleyball player as well.
She's an athlete then.
Yeah, she is. She plays softball as well. So my volleyball team, we went to the Sweet 16. That's the first time in Winterboro history.
Wow.
We won the area in volleyball as well. First time since 2003. So traditionally, girls sports in Winterboro were softball first and then volleyball. Basketball, their first team came about in 1998, and the most wins they had up until I started coaching them was 12.
Well, let's talk about that. I want to talk about your record because that's very impressive. And looking at this here, as you said when you first came, y'all won 3. Looking at the records, 3-17, 9-15, 18-7, 20-8, 29-4, and the last 3, as y'all said earlier, were area champs and school win records. So, man, that is so impressive, Coach Smith. And
It is.
you know, just to build that in that short of a time. I mean, think about it. Just 5 years going from 3 wins to 29-4. I mean, you only had 4 losses, and you had 3 wins just 5 years ago. That's very impressive.
Yes. And once again, you know, it's a blessing to be in a program and have parents that allow me to have their daughters for that particular amount of time to get them prepared to compete. And also having the community come back out, because I can remember my first game, we only had about 20 fans there my first year. I think we played Indian Springs, and now we have way more than 20 fans, and they come consistently. And Winterboro, history-wise, is a basketball school.
Right.
Boys basketball
Right.
has
It
a
has.
ton,
That's right.
a ton of traditions,
That's
multiple area championships. I remember one year they won 20 in a row,
Yeah, I remember.
20 playoff appearances. They've had 4.
Coach Dye was there
And
for years and did a great job with
Yes, you had Coach Dye, you had Coach Andrew Brisky, and you had Coach Culpepper. So they've only had roughly, I'll be the 6th coach in 40 years there. So it's not a lot of turnover on the boys basketball side.
Well, hey, we're almost out of time, and I knew we would run out of time. I know we got a lot more we really wanted to talk about, but just, you know, thank you for coming on the show. And Winterboro High School basketball, we'll get the schedule at the chamber. We'll get that sent. I'm coming to one of your games this year. I promise I will. You'll get me the schedule.
Yes.
We'll send it out.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys for coming on. We'll see you next time on the Chillsburg Chamber Voice.